Hello YouTube, Mike in Detroit here. Have another beginner level video. We're getting a little advanced for beginners, so hopefully you've subscribed, fished through my little potpourri of videos. Sorry I'm not more organized. And gone through the initial beginner videos that I have posted there. So this is going to be an add-on. But if you watch this and you can follow along, just jump right in. This is going to assume that by way of review that you kind of know your note names on the keyboard. You've probably been practicing enough that your fingers are getting in shape. Your muscles of your fingers are not tired all the time. You kind of know your major scales, at least a few of them. You definitely know your major triads, your minor triads. You know kind of inversions. I think that was where we left off with inversions. And so there's a lot of foundational things. And the reason I'm making these videos is I'm actually not that good, to tell you the truth. I know there's a lot of advanced stuff out there in YouTube land and in lessons, etc. But I've always believed there is little to nothing in that area of intermediate. There's a lot of beginner stuff out there too. Books or Alphas, Bastions and stuff. There's a lot of good material that you can sink your teeth into for beginners. But there's this la-la land is when to get through intermediate. And that's what these videos are hoping to feel. Today we're going to talk about flowing. And people say you put your eyes on the swivel. This time we're going to put our ears on the swivel. And we're going to use a very gospel-y kind of song called Waymaker. I'm sure you saw that from this title. And the reason I selected this song is because it's very recognizable. Anybody that's been in church has heard it. That song. There's only 4 chords that we have to deal with. We're in the key of G. Well, I guess the theorists would say we're in the key of E minor. But my thinking is always in major key, so maybe that's cheating a little bit. But so it starts with a C chord. So in my mind, I'm on the 4 chord. Then we go to a G chord. So far we have a 4-to-1 progression. Then we have a 5 chord. Let's play it up here because I went a little low. So we have a D7, or you can play it as a D7 sus, which is like a C chord over D. I'll get to that more in a minute. And then the last chord, so that's the last chord is a 6 chord. Now we have an E minor chord. So the thinking chord progression wise is 4, 1, 5, 6. 4, 1, 5, 6. At least that's the way I think of it. Now, if you're familiar with minor keys, do your thing. But I think of it in terms of major. I know it's got that minor mode to it, and it probably, if I was in music class, they would tell me it's in a minor key. It even sounds minor. But for chord analysis, at least for my purposes, I'm thinking of it in its parent major key. 4 to 1. To 5, D, to a 6 chord. So that's step 1. Learn the chords, learn the melody, And it's a simple song. It's only 4 chords, and it's over and over and over and over. 4 chords over and over again. So put the melody with the chords. Now, from a beginner point of view, how are we going to voice these chords? Let's see. So we could voice the minor triad this way. And by the way, let me digress for a second for all you jazzy people. They didn't say C major 7th. Although that didn't sound bad. Make sure when you're putting these embellishment chords like C major 7th or 9th, that try them out in your practice room first to make sure they don't clash. Because this song is so simple and delicate and dainty, you might want to stick with like this kind of chord, or maybe this. But let your ear guide you. So let's see what we can do with these 4 chords. Let's try this chord. See, that worked out pretty good. There's a G, rootless chord, and that sounded okay. Now we need a D7 chord, so let's try this. Wrong bass note there. So here on my right hand, I'm really playing a A minor chord, but I'm thinking C, E, G, and adjust to the melody. C, E, G, but adjust to the melody over a D. Could play that. There would be, so this E in the D family is the 9th. It's flat 7, 9, sus, melody. There will be a good voicing to use. Now I need something on the E minor, and this is clearly, the melody is on E, so I'm going to play that. Could play this. That makes it a little bit more mysterious because that F sharp is the 9th. That actually sounds delicious to my ear. But for you beginners or early beginners, just stick with this. Now, what if I put the flat 7th in? I'm sure that's going to sound fine. That chord, that note right there is the flat 7. Yeah, that's going to sound fine. Could have put it up here. Could have put it both. So we're kind of in phase 1 where we're learning the song. The minister of music said we're going to sing this on Sunday. You're sitting in your home studio or at your home piano. You say, well, okay, this song's coming up on Sunday. So the first thing to do, always, is learn the melody. Don't care how you play it, just make sure you're faithful to that melody. Especially a congregational song. You expect the congregation to sing along with you, or your praise team to sing along with you. Excuse me, my pedal is escaping. You have to support them with that melody, because Grandma is in church today, and Grandma will sing in the key of Q if you let her. Just no offense to Grandma, that was pejorative. Sorry. Erase that. Just playing, just kidding. But the first thing you want to do is learn the melody. Now we got a 5 chord. So 4, 1, 5, 6. That's the chord progression, the way I think of it. Now you might notice that I have my keyboard kind of on a Rhodes Z kind of sound more of a little bit kind of a electronic piano kind of sound. I can do a little bit more. And I tend to do that a little bit when there's a song like this at play. Okay, word to the wise to you church players. Beautiful thing to do. Beautiful thing to do is to lead worship. But if you don't know the lyrics to this song, you don't know what the song is even talking about, you're not going to be able to do it any justice. So after you learn the melody, learn the lyrics too. You are here. You are here. Moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. And again, it's going to say that again. You are here. Moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. So to lead worship, you got to know exactly what this song is trying to communicate, now when you get to the chorus, when you get to the bridge chorus, whatever you call it, same chords, you know, you got Waymaker, miracle worker, Waymaker, miracle worker. That is who you are. Just keep a light in the darkness. That is who you are. And really, the song is very simple, but the meaning is pretty deep. And you know, a lot of gospel songs are like that. Well, a lot of pop songs are like that too. That simple songs can touch pretty deeply. And as the musician, you have to give homage to what the song is trying to interpret, not exactly what you're trying to interpret. Okay, so when I put the when I entitled this video, I put flow in there. God bless you, church musicians, because you got to know how to flow. You got to know how to flow. You just can't be walking in there talking about, you can't do that. No, they're going to run you out of there. So, they're going to run you out of there. So you got to start off like, you got to let it flow. So, by the way, as soon as people hear that melody, they know the song. Everybody's heard this song. Now, pause. What did I just do in my left hand? Those are called tenths. Pianist's best friend in the left hand are major tenths. Root, fifth, 10th. So how did I flow with that? I let the music, the melody. Now when I got to this note, that's when my bass came in. Another 10th. So I'm starting off light in my right hand, but my bass is kind of flowing. It's just flowing. I could flow a little bit more. I could go root. That's another left-hand pattern, root. Now you pick some of these and pick your favorites. So my melody note is on B, and it's being sustained. So while this note is being sustained, when my right hand is being sustained, my left hand gets busy. Let's go from the top. See, my right hand is sustained, my left hand is busy. There's another left hand pattern. 1, root, 9, root. You can find some of these left hand patterns. They're fillers for when your right hand is being sustained. Okay, so that time I went root, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th. Root, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th. So practice that one too. When you're flowing, you want to have a pocket full of these little left-hand patterns you can pull out. Root, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th. Here's an E minor. Now we've been over this pattern. Root, 5th, root, 9th, 3rd, 5th, 9th, root. It is likely that if you've been in most churches that I've seen anyway, this is how you're going to start and end the song. You're going to start like, it's like a warm-up almost. And you're going to let it build up and build up and build up and build up until you're at some kind of frenzy. And trust me, on this song, that's not hard to do. Now, how does it, do you build it up to a frenzy or does it build itself up to? No, this is where you got to keep your ears on a swivel. Take the mood of the crowd, the leader, the worship leader. They'll tell you when to bump it up. Now, so this is the quiet kind of way to play it. Now, you start seeing people on their feet, waving their arms around, falling on the floor, whatever they're doing, running around. The worship leader can say, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whatever they do, that's telling you you need a little bit more energy in this song. So here, instead of playing single notes in my right hand, I'm going to start probably playing chords. Now, last time we went over chord inversions. I chose that. And I'm going to get a little bit more dramatic in my left hand. I chose this chord inversion. This is a C chord in second inversion because it's faithful to the melody. The melody is on the top. So now I started off kind of dainty, but I see it's kind of bumping up a little bit. So I went. There again, I'm playing a G chord in second inversion. So now this time I'm going to play some kind of D. See, it's getting a lot more dramatic now. I got octaves in my left hand, and I got a flat 7th, I got a 9th, I got a 3rd, and the melody is always on. Now I got. That little Indian chant thing going on. So that's the last chord in the song. So I'm pushing back to the beginning again. Now, you notice I left the melody a little bit. because I can hear, well, the congregation's got it. Well, we're on the second or third time around. They've got the melody. They've got it. We've sung this chorus 4 or 5 times. And so if you're off key, the person next to you will get you straight. So we're going to stay here for a while, but can we get even more dramatic? Yes. Yeah, you can get as dramatic as you want. And how do you know when to wind it back down, Donna? You either tire them out or the worship leader will give you a look and say, okay, enough of this. But you can use a rhythm to get dramatic effect as well. Now I'm getting pretty dramatic right there. Now what is going on in my right hand? That's actually from my intermediate lessons. That's how I voice E minor. That's an E minor 9. I can roll my left hand, get that little thunder roll. I can get way down here and do it. Now, when I get to the last chord, I gotta decide, am I gonna keep it the next round at this pace, or am I gonna start winding it down? So I'll sustain and I'll take a pulse here. Now, this doesn't work if people are singing, because you're gonna throw them off. I mean, it's just you playing, or if you have band members, that's another whole nother discussion. Now, but if you're playing by yourself, you can do whatever you want. So let's say it's time to wind it down, but don't wind it all the way down. Just take it down a little bit. See, it's still a chord, but it's not as dramatic. Different voicings, but you'll catch this if you've paid attention to my chord inversions. Here's an E minor, here's another E minor, here's another one. Now remember earlier I said you can feel with your left hand, but you can also feel with your right hand. Let's do a little bit of that. Now I'm thinking G major scale. So let's fill it up. Let's take our left hand and do a little bit something a little bit more dainty like this. So I'm going to wind down, wind down, wind down, whichever way you want to do it, left hand, right hand, whatever. Also loud and soft matters too. So I actually when I'm winding down, I'm going to get softer. Now, it's always going to be like, if you've been in church a while, you'll catch this. There's always going to be some people that's ready to sit down and some people that's not. Or some people just kind of want to sit down, but they don't know. You hear some whimpers in the back or some hallelujahs on the side or whatever. And you don't know which way this is. Could ramp back up, could wind back down. You don't know. That's why it's really hard to play in church, because you got to keep your ears on swivel. words of advice to you beautiful church musicians out there. If you're trying to show off and get flashy, if it's all about you and how good you can play, you're in the wrong spot. You really are. And I know I'm opinionating right now. It's one of my pet peeves. When you sit in church, it is not about you. It is not. It is not. You are an usher. You're an usher. You're supporting whatever the Spirit is. So if you go in there talking, doing all this kind of stuff, you're in the wrong spot. If you're in the club doing that, okay, all right, at least somebody paid to get in. But as soon as you hit the church, it's no longer about you. So your job is the best you can. Support what's going on. Use as many chorded versions as you know. So you know this, that if I was on a C chord, I could play it here. Waymaker, miracle work. Watch me stay on this. This is a, okay, so I'm all, my mind's all over the place. One thing, I think of another thing. You see how I play this Waymaker, miracle worker, and my melody is G. Waymaker, my next chord is G, so I'm gonna keep that G melody. Promise keep. This is good voice leading. In the dark. Now my next chord is a. That is who you are. I never left that G. I never left that G. Waymaker, miracle worker, keeper, that is who you are. Man, living in the darkness, that is who you are. Hallelujah. That's actually, when you get to the vamp, the chorus, that's a nice way to play it. Just maintain this G. Let the audience hook to that G. Waymaker. Now you need the voice lead around that G. Yes, people living in the darkness. That is who you are. One last thing, and we'll be out for this video. Just when you think it's over, it ain't over. Now what are you doing this time? It ain't over. You know you're in the key of G, so you can go to the 4 chord. Just flow in the key of G. I haven't played an A minor in this song, but A minor's in G, that's the 3 chord. I mean the 2 chord, sorry. Just don't play the 1 chord or it'll be over. How about another 6 chord? 6 likes to go to 4. How about a 2 chord? Now somebody's talking and they're probably going to say something about that song. I mean, they're probably going to say, yeah, he is our Waymaker. Has he done anything for you or something like that? You're in the background just playing something in the key of G, right? I would stay away from 5 chords and 1 chords in this little segment here because that's going to signal over. So a 2 chord works, 4 chord works, 6 chords will work. And so you just gonna flow with that, you know. Now you got to keep your ear on a swivel again. What if it kicks back in? All right, you ready? Now you're out. You're out. You're really out this time. All right, hopefully that was helpful to somebody. Put some comments down in the comment sheet if there's a song you have in mind and it's kind of a beginner, intermediate kind of song. Be glad to review it for you. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to all of you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.